All right. How well this will work or not, I don't know, because so many times when I talk about this particular subject, I usually have internet problems, something goes wrong, whatever. This is a subject they don't like talking about, but I brought it up because I often revisit some of my research, and when it like disappears, it makes me laugh. And I'm sure if you've watched any of my past videos for a long time, you've known I've spoken about the Fetzer Institute, the John Fetzer Institute, okay? And what it is an institute in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and they've got funded by a shitload of money to bring about spirituality into different religions. And when I talk about spirituality, I'm talking about where these different New Age movement, they want to basically, they're part of the funding for the New Age movement to get pushed into Catholic churches, Christian churches, Baptist churches, whatever, synagogues, you name it. So, in other words, the people bringing you the New World Order religion, Thelema. John Fetzer was a 33rd degree Mason. And what I'm going to show you here in a second here, I thought it was so funny, because I know if you've watched me and Bill's stuff before, that we've recorded all this. We recorded these people and all this stuff. So when they change it, they're not hiding anything. We already have it recorded. You can go back. I'll try and find out which video, because we put it in a couple videos where it has the history of John Fetzer and his ties to the spiritualist movement, and Michigan's ties to the spiritualist movement through the Kellogg cereal company. Yes, the Kellogg cereal company started as a health spa that pushed the spiritualist New Age agenda way back before the turn of the century. So what I'm going to do is going to quickly show you what's going on with this, and let's see. I have to do this, and then I have to boom, and then I have to boom, I think. Let's see if that works. All right, I'm going to have to catch this up and see if it works here. I don't know if it's going to work. Hopefully it works, and you can actually see this, and I could jump over here. And it looks like it is working. Okay, so what you're going to see here is page not found. Okay, this is the page that used to have the history of John Fetzer and how he was a Mason and how he pushed this New Age spiritualist agenda into a institution, and it was all part of the Masonic agenda. And the reason why I wanted to get into Fetzer today was because he was one of the early men at the forefront of radio and television. And I often see so many people say, "Hey, Jerry, it's the Jews." I said, well, okay, well, who sold them the media? Who sold them the TV stations, the radio stations, everything else? Well, I wanted to show people, well, it was the Masons. The Masons, when you look back through the history of radio and television, were the ones that are the founders of this shit. And they sold it to these different Jewish organizations. So, you have to take it back to the originals. Take it back to the ones behind it. And if you take it back, you always end up back at the Masons. And I'm going to go through this real quick with you because I thought it was kind of funny. We're going to see here is, right, originally this page that had his history and his history with the Masons was here. But when you hit it, this is what happens. Boom. It's gone. They made it disappear. So what I did is, to confirm, so you don't just say, Jerry, well, maybe he wasn't a Mason. I go, well, here's Masonic today. John Fetzer. John Earl Fetzer. Okay? So it tells a little bit about his history in the radio business, the television business, the Detroit Tigers. And I also want to mention the Detroit Tigers later on in the future so you can understand its connection with the New World Order, which is really bizarre, and how it's tied to the Jesuits. That's a whole interesting story in itself nowadays. But let's go down here. We can see he was part of the Anchor Lodge number 87 in Kalamazoo, and he was a member of the Kalamazoo chapter of the number 13 Royal Ark Masons. Okay? Now, and number 8 Knights Templar, which are both in Kalamazoo as well. Okay? These people here, all right, are these people here are behind your Kalamazoo Uber shooting, false flag, among other things. Okay, so I want to put that out there. These people were involved, and I just thought it was so funny. Now, you should go on their website. What I think is actually most interesting is if you go on like Google and look up where they're located, you're going to see that they have a giant pyramid building in the middle of the woods. Okay, these are pyramid people. You see their logo here, where it's the upside down pyramid, like we see Trump always flashing and all these other people flashing. And, it's a Masonic thing. That's what it is. But the meta science, the noetic science, and I'm telling you, if you knew the amount of money they got going into this, it's unbelievable. Okay, these are all kinds of brainwashing programs that they got going on, and they've had going on for a long time. Okay, to explore the frontiers of scientific knowledge and advance the backgrounds towards scientific views of reality. Okay, and why I want people to understand this, okay, is I know it's really tough for people to comprehend the whole "they woke us up" thing, that there was an awakening, but there was, and there were groups like this that were part of it, and it was done to further their agenda because they wake people up. Oh, look how obvious this is. You need to be more conscious in this world, the metaphysical world, the spiritualist world that the Masons have been studying for so long. We want to spread our Masonic agenda through the religions and get you to believe what we want you to believe, because that's what's going on. And then once you wake up, you go down this path. You might go down the religious path, the New Age path, the metaphysical path, and they own all those paths because they woke you up. Now, the scary thing is that this is going on and that they're not conscious to the harm they're doing people by pushing their agenda. These are very evil people, okay? Doing false flags, doing these different things to wake people up and being a part of this is not ethical behavior, okay? It's a scary thing. Where was I wanted to show you here? You can see here a little thing about Fetzer. Okay, he spent his lifetime in here. We go. Okay, John Fetzer spent a lifetime inquiring into the interconnectedness between science and spirituality for the transformation of self and society. Let me read that again. John Fetzer spent a lifetime inquiring into the interconnectedness between science and spirituality for the transformation of self and society. His search integrated the inner practice, meditation, and other mystically oriented practices to wake up with his outer work in the world. Okay. These are those people. I love how he actually even looks a little bit like John Trump, Donald Trump's uncle. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying he looks like him a little bit. But it's fun. It's funny. I went on here to look for the history of John Fetzer, and they had a whole timeline of his work in the spiritualist movement and the Masons and becoming a 33rd degree Mason and yada da da da, and how he wanted to integrate his Masonic beliefs into all your religions out there. So I just thought it was freaking fabulous that because we exposed them, they hid the Masonic history. But I still showed you. It's still here. It's still here. Can't hide that he's a Mason. He was a Mason because they forgot to hide it at Masonic today or Masonry today. Either way, I don't care. They should just call this douchebag of the day, because that's what it is. Douchebag. He is a douchebag with the rest of the Mason douchebags that cause war and everything else. It's just one of those things. So, anyways, I'm back here. Listen, Fight me all you want. Yeah, Tigers 33. Thank you. Thank you for looking that up. I never really checked the Tigers thing, but yes, of course, because here's the thing. All right, you have Tom Monahan, all right, who also owned the Tigers. All right, Tom Monahan goes to Florida. All right, he's a Jesuit. Builds a Jesuit college and a private Jesuit community called Ave Maria, Florida. Look it up. All you have to do is look on a map, go down to Parkland where they had that bullshit, go straight over the Everglades, to the other side, to the west side of Florida, and bam, you're going to find it right in perfect alignment with that Parkland there. Anyways, Tom Monahan starts this private Jesuit community, right? And he's a part of this shit too. I know. Everybody wants to blame the Jews. And yes, many Jewish people are a part of this. They're integrated and a part of it. But that's not all the Jews. It's not them. Okay? Who sold them the media? Who allowed them to take over the schools or this or that or whatever they're doing in their different communities? It was the Masons, always behind them. And those higher up Jewish people are tied to the Masons. Please look into B'nai B'rith and the Masonic Judaic Lodge system. Just look into the intertwinedness of it throughout history. And yes, it does tie to them, but you got to understand, it's no one group. It's the interconnectedness of those groups. The unified groups together at the top with many different races, with many different backgrounds. And that makes more sense, doesn't it? If they can pull all this stuff off. But when you look at, like the Fetzer Institute, come on. It gives it away. They're telling you, listen, we're pushing this New Age agenda into all your religions. We're doing all this crap. They're siphoning so much money off of their trust funds there to push into the New Age metaphysical agenda. Just research it. Go online. They show you half the stuff. And listen, research it now, because now that I talk about them, every time I talk about them, they erase more stuff from their website and make it harder to find. So I did want to put it out there, and I think one of the main purposes just for that video is to just show you, listen, they're freaking scrubbing this stuff. Anybody that's seen our videos before about the Fetzer Institute know that stuff, we have that stuff on the timeline. It shows you all John Fetzer's Masonic work, and we show you it all. And now it's just erased from it. Why is that? Why they need to hide their Masonic history? Why is that, huh? If you're so proud, and that's why I tell you these institutions, if you're so proud of the work you're doing, why are you hiding it? Is it because you're dirty, nasty, evil people that take part in false flags and funding bullcrap? Whether the money's coming from the Fetzer Institute or from the Royal Ark, doesn't matter. What you did is wrong. What you've done is wrong. And if you belong to any of these organizations and you don't understand what's going on at the top, you need to seriously look at yourself and try to figure out what the hell's wrong. Maybe possibly brainwashed. Study the history of, that's what I'm saying, any of these people, if they're a part of this John Fetzer Institute, the Fetzer Institute, study the history of the area. Study the Kellogg's history to the spiritualist movement. Study the history of Madame Blavatsky's ties to Kalamazoo through the Lucifer Trust and the Knights Templar and the production of their regalia stuff. Study it. It's there. So, you should always be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, you want to move this world towards a better world or more metaphysical or in touch with this or that. Fine. You don't do it the way you've been doing it. You don't perform false flags. You don't you screw people. You don't do evil things like what was done to me. When you raided my house and stole everything I own. No, bullshit. Get the frick out of here, you scumbags. You're the scum of the earth. You should be ashamed of yourself, anybody that's taking part in this crap. You can't move towards a better, enlightened future when you're doing evil along the way. Listen, waking people up, getting people more aware of their surroundings, and more spiritual, more concerned about their political things that go along in their world. Great. But you don't do evil to get there. You don't. Deceiving people is wrong, no matter which way you look at it. And places like the Fetzer Institute have been constantly deceiving people and are spending a lot of money to get people into the New Age agenda that fits within their belief system. So when you hear people talk about, it's in plain sight. Yeah. It goes deep. Okay, the brainwashing goes so deep that it's always open in plain sight and nobody sees it. Yeah, I know. Sucks. Sucks when you get to that point. And this is not the first time we've showed people the Fetzer Institute and other institutes like them that are involved in this stuff. And you scream it and you just want people to, come on, look, they're telling you they're doing this and you still don't give a fuck. You rather care about stupid vests. Google no longer has the motto, don't be evil. Yeah, they probably scrubbed that too. They don't care because they know they're evil. They can't get around that shit. Some of that stuff works backwards. Just like how they erased all this Masonic stuff from the Fetzer Institute. Right? They thought, look at how great. He's a Mason. It's so great. We're going to publicize that. We're going to show everybody how he's a Mason. Until people start realizing that Masons are doing all these evil things and being involved with all these false flags. And maybe we should hide that. Wait a second. You're all supposed to be about waking people up and doing the right thing and bringing spirituality. Why do you have to hide anything? Why? You only have to hide something if you're dirty. And I say they're dirty. It's my opinion. Whether you like it or not, please do some research on the Fetzer Institute. Take a look at some of the things they're involved in. To me, it looks kind of shady, you know what I mean?